Hello, students of class 6. I have come up to you with a new lesson, that is Unit 1, Section 2. The name of the lesson is Uncle Cain. Before we get to the story, there is something for you to discuss, but it is not time for you to discuss with your partners because you are at home because of this lockdown. That's why you will think about the answers personally. First question, why is it important to work for one's living, to earn our living? Why it is important for us to do some work? Then second question, would it be possible to be happy in life without having to work? Is it possible to be happy in life without doing any work? Then number three, have you ever met an adult who does not have a job? Now, have you ever met a jobless person? If any such person you meet, then how does this person support himself or herself? How does that person support himself or herself? Or is he or she happy in life? These are the questions you will have to find the answers by your personal thinking. Now about the lesson, let's read about the author's Uncle Cain, who seemed to be quite happy doing no work and allowing others to take care of him. Now the author Ruskin Bond, his uncle Cain, was such a person who did not work, who did not have anything to work, who did not have any job, and who allowed others to take care of him. So this is the story of such a person who is the author Ruskin Bond's Uncle Cain. Now this is a discussion between Ruskin Bond and his granny. The granny starts here. The conversation is started by granny, and they are discussing, we will have to do something about Uncle Cain, said Granny. Granny said that about Uncle Cain, they have to do something because he's not doing anything. I was in the kitchen with her. Now, at that moment, the author Ruskin Bond was in the kitchen with her, selling peas and peeping a few into his mouth now and then. And then he was in the kitchen, he was selling the peas and throwing a few of them in the mouth now and then. Susie the Siamese cat sat on the sideboard, patiently watching Granny prepare an Irish stew. Susie liked Irish stews. Now Susie the Siamese cat was sitting there sideboard and watching Granny preparing that Irish stew. Irish stew is given the meaning of it at the bottom. It's mutton or some other meat, and then potatoes, onions, and other vegetables. So this is the dish prepared by people, and the name of it is Irish stew. Susie liked Irish stew. It's not that I mind him staying, said Granny, and I don't want any money from him either. But I believe it isn't healthy for a young man to remain idle for so long. Now, why Granny wanted Uncle Ken to do some work? Was it because he was disturbed by his staying inside the house, or did she need any money from him? No, that is not the reason for which she wanted Uncle Ken to do some work, but she believed that it isn't healthy for a young man to remain idle for so long. So no young man should remain idle for so long a time. That is the reason for which she wanted Uncle Ken to do some job. Is Uncle Ken a young man, Gran? Now the author Ruskin Bond is asking Granny whether Uncle Ken was young. He is 40. This is the reply. Now Uncle Ken was 40 years old. Everyone says he will improve as he grows up. Now, when he will grow up, then he will improve. Everyone says like that. It is the Granny's version. Granny was saying that he could go and live with Aunt Mabel. Now this is Ruskin Bone. He could go and live with Aunt Mabel. With Aunt Mabel he can live. He does go and live with Aunt Mabel. He also lives with Aunt Emily and Aunt Beryl. Now Granny is saying that he lives with Aunt Mabel. He goes and lives with Aunt Emilia and Aunt Beryl also. That's his trouble, and that is his problem. He has too many doting sisters. Doting. Okay, I am going beyond what you can see, so I am adjusting it. Wait a little. Now he does go and live with Aunt Mabel. He lives with Aunt Mabel. He also lives with Aunt Emilia and Aunt Beryl. That's his trouble, actually. That's his problem. He has too many affectionate, doting means affectionate sisters, ready to put him up and put up with him. They are always ready to keep him shelter in and tolerate him. Their husbands are all quite well off and can afford to have him now and then. And their husbands are very well to do persons, and they can afford to have him now and then. From time to time, they can afford to have him as guest. So our Ken spends 3 months with Mabel, 3 months with Beryl, 3 months with me. So Uncle Ken's uh, routine is like this. He spends 3 months with Mabel, 3 months with Beryl, and 3 months with Grant. That way he gets through the year as everyone's guest, and doesn't have to worry about making a living. And that is why he passes a year living 3 months here, 3 months there, like that. And that's why he doesn't think about doing something and having a job. That is what is told by Granny. He is lucky in a way, I say. Ruskin Bond told that he was lucky in a way. But Granny thought the other way. His luck won't last forever. She says that his luck was not going to last like that forever. Already Mabel is talking of going to New Zealand. Now Mabel is going to New Zealand, and once India is free, India becomes independent in just a year or two from now. Into 1 or 2 years, India will become independent, and then Emilia and Beryl will probably go off to England. Then Emilia and Beryl will go to England because their husbands are in the army, and all the British officers will be leaving. British officers will be leaving once India becomes independent. That's why can't uncle can follow them to England. If they go to England, then this is the question asked by Ruskin Bond, that when they will go to England, can't uncle can go with them. He knows he will have to start walking if he goes there. Now this is the reply given by Granny, that he knows he will have to walk if he goes there. When your aunts find they have to manage without servants, they won't be ready to keep can for long periods. Then when the aunts will think that they cannot keep any servants, have to manage without servants, and they won't be ready to keep can for long periods, then at such a time they will not be keeping can for long periods. In any case, who is going to pay his fare to England or New Zealand? Now there was another problem. Who will be paying for his fare to England or New Zealand? That is another question. So whatever we have read here is about Uncle Ken's not having a job, and the granny is worried about that. She is not worried about his staying inside the house doing nothing. She doesn't want any money from him either. But she believes that the young man should not keep idle, remain idle for long. And he spends 3 months with Mabel, 3 months with Beryl, 3 months with Emily, and like that he passes the whole year. And all his sisters are very, very affectionate, and they are not worried about keeping him as their guest. So this is what they were discussing about, and that's why Granny was thinking that he should do some job to make a living. That is the conversation we have so far heard about. So this is what we have learned or read today. Tomorrow we will come with this next page. Till then, I would like to say goodbye, but before that, I have some questions for you to answer, and the questions are I am giving you right now here. The questions are, this is 12/5 to 2020, alternative English class 6, Uncle Kane. Short answer type question. A. What were the author and his granny talking about Ken? Next question. Why does Granny say that Uncle Ken's luck won't last forever? So these two questions, I think you should be able to answer them. Try to answer them. Otherwise, I will be giving you the answers tomorrow uh, when we meet again. Till then, goodbye. Thank you.